Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you're on the West Coast, good afternoon. If you're elsewhere, it's probably the evening. So, either way, thank you so much. We're going to have some fun tonight, learn a lot in 30 minutes. The goal is to take a lot of notes and grab one thing, just one thing to help you reset your leadership to be a better leader. Remember, leadership is not a destination, it's evolving, it's constantly evolving. I'm Dr. Anthony Perkins. I am the so called leadership whisperer. And the episode tonight is called Avoiding Leadership Drift. Avoiding Leadership Drift. And I'm going to discuss with you three strategies to help you avoid leadership drift, meaning you have a target, but then you drift away from that leadership target. What are things holding us back? So let's get to it. Again, I'm going to do about 30 minutes. So here we go. All right, three strategies to stay on course. That is the focus tonight. So here they are. Reconnect with your why. The perspective I'm going to come at you with is life. I'm going to drill down on why. Why are we here personally? Why are we here professionally? And then number two, check your alignment. Is your say and do, is it the same? What you say and what you do, is it aligned? Then lastly, what is your leadership target? Remember, what you keep in the forefront of your mind or your mindset, you pay attention to. So those three things, connecting to your why, check your alignment, and your leadership target. Then I'm going to close with a quick, simple but effective activity called Stop the Drift. And it's going to be a live activity. At any time, if you have any questions, please go in the chat, and it's right up here in front of me, and put in your question. I would love to answer it live on the air. Okay, why do we drift as leaders? Why do we drift as leaders? And if you look at the slide, hopefully you're looking at this live with me or a recording, and you're seeing the slides. I like to use slides to kind of guide me. It takes one small compromise at a time to get us off course. So say we have a leadership target in front of us and we're focused, yet a teammate is struggling with something. Now we tend to veer off and help the teammate. That one compromise gets us out of focus. And then it's another thing, and then it's another thing, and then it's another thing. Those little small compromises gets us away from our leadership target, and that's why we drift. We have to be leaders that train up our teammates, train them up. We know they're proficient in what we're training them on. They have mastery in what we have trained them on. Then we have to trust them to do the work, because we cannot do all the work. That's why we bring in, do the work alongside of us. Do the work alongside of us. So train them up so they have that mastery in whatever you train them in, or that proficiency. Then make sure the expectations are very, very specific and clear. Then you follow it with support steps, then accountability steps. And you can't be afraid in either one of those steps or phases. So did you catch that? Just that one small compromise at a time, helping a teammate here, helping a teammate there. Something gets us off track to where it's that noise we're chasing instead of the work. And it's just one here, one there, and then it all adds up and we're off focus. We drift. So we have to be self-aware of that and regulate that. And then reading the slide, I'm going to enlarge the slide here so you see just the slide here for a second. Leadership drift happens quietly. You don't wake up one day and decide to lose focus, energy, or connection with your team. It happens one small compromise at a time. Kind of like that New Year's resolution where we want to exercise or we want to eat better. And we start down that street that first week, and then we slip with a bad meal. Then it's a bad day of eating bad. Then all of a sudden at the end of the month, you count your bad eating days, and it's not 3, 4, 5, it's 10, 11, 12. Just a slip here, a slip there, non-discipline here, and boom, you're off track. So we want to remain focused, let our teammates handle things. They will come to us if they need us, and stay focused on our target. So there's a concept out there called the Signal to noise concept. Signal to noise concept. Signal meaning you're focused on the work. It's going down, you're committed to it, it's going to happen. The noise is any negative thing that gets you off track. So you have people like Warren Buffett, the late great Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, who use the signal to noise concept. They talk about it all the time. Well, obviously Steve Jobs doesn't. He's passed away. But all three of them have talked about it or talk about it currently about you got to stay strong with your signal, the work, and not let the noise get you and pull you away from the work. It's called signal to noise concept. So what is your signal to noise concept? For an Elon Musk, it's 100% signal, 0% noise. For Warren Buffett, he's more of an 80% signal, 20% noise. He's okay with a little noise, but mostly 80% work. So think about that signal to noise. Are you focused on your signal, the work, or are you focusing more on the noise? And your goal is to stay away from the noise, focus on your signal, the work. Okay, reconnect to your why. Now, remember, your purpose should drive your leadership, not your problems, distractions, or that daily chaos. Did you catch that? Your purpose drives your why, your leadership, not problems, distractions, or daily chaos. Remember, when negative comes, you don't have to go with it. You don't have to go with it. Have that mindset. And then trust, again, delegate work and trust your teammates that they're trained up. They know the expectations. You're going to support them and you're going to hold them accountable. And you stay focused on that. Let's break that down a little bit more. Let me enlarge this here. Oh, I'm going to bring this here. All right, in front of you is a 90-year human life in weeks block, like I call it, or as I call it. So every little so-called block here, they may look like dots to you, but they're little blocks or little squares. Those are weeks. And this entire block is a 90-year human life in weeks block. So this represents life. Now you see two parallel lines. Now the top parallel line represents my age. I'm 58. And right now in the United States, the average human lifespan is 78.6. So let's round it down to 78 years. That means average. People die before 78, people die obviously after 78. So I put a line there at 78 and my age 58. So in between these two parallel lines, this is what's remaining of my life approximately. 20 years, 20 summers. I got more years behind me than in front of me right now. So I'm looking at it from a life perspective. I got 20 years left, 20 summers left, whatever you wish to call it. What am I going to do with my purpose, with my why? I'm going to serve. I'm going to give back. I'm going to help others like I'm doing tonight. I have a lot of knowledge because I have 33 years of leadership experience, but I also have a lot to learn. So I approach leadership as humble and hungry. I know a lot. I'm sharing that, and I'm still learning a lot because I need to build my capacity. We never get to the promised land in leadership where we know everything. I approach leadership as humble and hungry, like I mentioned before, and I want to be a learn-it-all leader, not a know-it-all leader. Once you become a know-it-all leader, you're going to start failing because you're too cool for school. You know everything. And you don't want to be cocky. You don't want to be conceited. You want to be always building your capacity, always learning, finding that next workshop, that next conference to learn a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. So I wanted to hit you with this as far as getting to that why from a life perspective. Right now, you're in the middle of your lifetime. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to evolve? Are you going to take advantage of the opportunities? Are you going to serve, give back, help others with your knowledge? What are you going to do? Or are you going to drop the ball? You don't want to drop the ball. You want to move forward positively and keep growing and keep learning. So just a good visual for you. I would ask you to revisit that. Also, as far as your leadership why, are you here for purpose, passion, or paycheck? Purpose, passion, or paycheck? Purpose, passion, or paycheck? You should be in leadership for the first two, a purpose and you're passionate. If you're here for a paycheck, I'm going to get on you. Shame on you. Because your team is going to see through that. They're going to believe you're not genuine, you're not authentic, you're just here for a paycheck. And they won't work with you. They will start to sabotage you, and they will be resistors, and it will be bad for you. So you want to make sure in leadership you're here for a purpose and passion. That paycheck's going to come. But if you're here solely for a paycheck, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle because it's not about money. It's about the purpose of leadership, the passion behind it. And then lastly, under your leadership why, are you interested or committed? Interested means kind of sort of, yeah, I might do it. Committed means it's going down. It's going to happen come hell or high water. It's going down. So you want to be committed in leadership. Things are going to happen. You're going to make sure you set goals and reach those goals with your team. You're going to co-create with your team. You're going to keep things bite-sized so it's understandable. People can feel and see victories. So are you interested or committed? So that covers the leadership why. I gave you a lot of things to look at there. Interested or committed. Oops, let me go here. Is it purpose, passion, or paycheck? And then that 90-year block of life. Where are you at with that? And what are you going to do with your remaining time? All right, let's now go to number 2. Check your alignment. Check your alignment means focus on your say-do. What you say and what you do, are they aligned? So I want to share with you this story I caught out there in the universe. It's this grandmother talking to a granddaughter. And the grandmother says, "Granddaughter, is your tongue and the shoe of your tongue pointed in the same direction?" Meaning, are they aligned? In other words, are you walking the talk? Are you walking the talk? Are you walking the talk? So is your tongue, the human tongue, and your shoe tongue pointed in the same direction? Are they aligned? Meaning, are you walking the talk? A lot of leaders that I develop and work with, they say a lot of things, and I tell them, your team, your organization doesn't want speeches. They want action. They want doing. So are you walking the talk? That say and do have to be the same. It can't be different because, again, you're going to create a lack of trust. People are not going to work with you. They're going to work against you. They're going to be resistors. They're going to sabotage you. And you don't want that culture. Culture's all about those beliefs, those behaviors, those attitudes in an organization. Culture is also about Sunday night, does your team want to report to work Monday morning? So what you say and what you do, is it aligned? Reflection question. Where is there a gap between what I say as a leader and what I consistently do? You should be asking now that every single day and making sure you are aligned. Alignment builds trust. Trust builds influence. Influence delivers results. Let me say that slow-mo. Alignment builds trust. Trust builds influence. Influence delivers results. Say it, live it, earn it. I'm going to share with you a recent study in 2025, just about a year old. It is from Henkel and Aid in 2025. They put out a 10-page article in the Journal of General Management. The Journal of General Management. It's titled "Hypocritical Leaders Who Do Not Walk Their Talk," an in-depth field study. Again, in the Journal of General Management, and it starts on page 179. And it talks about the say and the do gap. It's a quantitative research study of 305 employees. There's no other percentages or quantitative figures within that 10 pages, but it talks about how you must match. Things must be aligned, where whatever you say, you must do. And you co-create that together with your teammate, and you just work on the work. Remember, when you co-create, it comes from not only you, but your teammates. And your teammates aren't going to resist because they created it. The human brain cannot resist what it created itself. So I encourage you to check that article out. Again, Henkel and Aid. Aid is ADE 2025, Hypocritical Leaders Who Do Not Walk Their Talk, an in-depth field study in the Journal of General Management. Starts at page 179. All right, number 3. What's your leadership target? What is your leadership target? Remember what I said earlier? What's in the forefront of your mindset, you pay attention to. Every day you should know what leadership win you are trying to accomplish. A reflection question in this area: what is one thing I need to accomplish as a leader today to move my team forward? Maybe it's a daily target. Maybe it's a weekly, a monthly, a yearly target. We have to have a target. It gives us a direction, a focus, something to move forward towards. And we have to measure it. So make sure it's measurable. Some key points in the slide: make sure it's clear, specific, easy to understand, measurable. As I mentioned earlier, you can track progress. Sometimes you can track it by percentages. We are 30% along the way, then we are 50%, 70, 80, 100, we've accomplished it. Some use that, a quantitative measure like that, or color code it. They use like a signal, a stop light signal. So, at the stoplight, you have a red, a yellow, and a green at the intersection. And so you might use that color coding system where you list your target and you say, right now, red, we haven't started, or yellow, we're in progress, or green, we've accomplished it. However you want to put it together with you and your team so you can track progress, that's up to you. A target gives you, again, focus. Focus drives action. Action creates results. Having that target. Think of a dartboard and you throwing a dart at the dartboard. You have to have something to aim towards, to work toward. Now, here are 20, and they're not all 20 on one slide. There's 3 different slides. Methods to identify an organizational leadership target. So you can do a method called the collective commitments, where it's basically the old school brainstorming, where you brainstorm a lot of ideas together with your team, and then you narrow it down from all of these ideas to maybe 5, and then the 2 that you can live with and start working on. Then you conquer the 2 in 6 months, a year, then you pick another 2. But you want to keep those things, those targets, down to 1 or 2. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with 3, 4, 5, 10. That's too much. It's overwhelming. Focus on 2. Again, bite size everything. Then tight and loose. What can be tight in your organization? What can be loose? So I have more of a background in education. So my tight would be the teachers in the building have to teach the curriculum. The curriculum consists of the state standards. So that's the tight. We have to teach the curriculum. The loose is how you teach it. You can teach it in a variety of ways. You can use project-based learning, kinesthetics, that physical movement. You can use direct instruction with high engagement. So there's a lot of ways you can teach the state standards. The state standards, again, are the tight, and the loose, how you do it. There's that SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Some call it a charter. Our target is our charter, what our team organization is committed to accomplishing. And again, keep that number small, 2, 3, 4 at the most. Some call it commandments. Our target is a commandment. Those are those non-negotiable leadership behaviors. And some call it non-negotiables. Other targets: mission, vision, values. Mission, what you do daily. Vision, what you aspire to in the future. And values are behaviors. Others use targets as SMART goals, or the SMART goals as targets. Others use a gap analysis, where you are now versus where you want to be in the future. Let me repeat that. That gap analysis is where you are now versus where do we need to be. Some other methods to identify an organizational leadership target. Data analysis. The data doesn't lie. What does the evidence tell us we must improve in? Stakeholder voice. What are students, employees, parents, customers, or community members telling us? Getting that voice from other stakeholders. Root cause analysis. What problem, if solved, would create the greatest impact? Theory of change. What change do we want, and what actions will produce it? Strategic priorities. What are 3 to 5 priorities that will move the organization forward? And then on this slide, 90-day priorities. I do this a lot with principles, a 90-day action plan, I call it. But 90-day priorities are what must we accomplish in the next 90 days, and drilling down and keeping it bite-sized so you can accomplish it. The last few things to identify an organizational target. This is one that I really like. It's called One Big Thing. If we could accomplish only one thing, what would have the greatest impact? I like that because it's super small, it's bite size, and you focus on one thing. You put a date to that. In 3 months, this one thing will be done. In 6 months, this one thing will be done. Or maybe it's shorter. In a week or 2 weeks, this one thing will be done. And you focus on that one thing. I like it. It's called One Big Thing. Other ways to kind of identify an organizational leadership target, key performance indicators, KPIs, which measurable results needs our leadership attention. Balanced scorecard, what targets should we pursue across people, processes, customers, stakeholders, and results? OKRs, what is our objective? That's the O. And what measurable key results, KR, will determine success? That's called OKRs. And then last two, future back planning. What do we want to be in 1 to 3 years, and what must happen now to get there? That's called future back planning. The last one, a leadership audit. What leadership behavior, practices, or system is currently limiting our results? Remember, systems are how we step through things. And do we have our systems in place? Because those systems determine our team behaviors. So those were a quick 20 methods to identify an organizational target. All right, I went through those three really fast. The why, the alignment, and the target. To make sure we as leaders do not have that leadership drift where we're off course. Now, here's a live activity. Again, if you have any comments, questions, put it in the chat, please. So, this activity is called Stop the Drift. Grab a piece of paper and complete these three statements. 1, I need to start blank. 2, I need to stop blank. 3, I need to continue blank. Then ask yourself, if I continue leading exactly as I am today, where will my team be in 6 months from now? Let me repeat that. If I continue leading exactly as I am today, where will my team be 6 months from now? So there's some things to avoid that leadership drift. I need to start, stop, and continue. So I'm going to fill in a few blanks to give you an example. I need to start co-creating leadership targets with my teammates. Remember, if we all own it, we all buy it, we all do it because we all created it. So I need to start, as a leader, co-creating the leadership targets with my teammates. 2, I need to stop that top-down leadership. That's traditional old school. That doesn't work anymore. Top-down, my way or the highway. And do more team decisions, team why, build together as a team. So my stop would be stopping the top-down leadership style I used to have. And then continue focusing on our why, our alignment, and our target. Why are we doing this? Is it aligned? And do we have a target? So that's my start, stop, and continue. And this is as simple as getting a piece of paper and writing your statements. I need to start blank. I need to stop blank. I need to continue blank. And then just do it. I know AI is popular, but the best resource tool out there is a blank piece of paper to solve a lot of problems so you can see it. So please try that. Revisit this and try this. And then again, do the work. What you say and do has to be aligned. Another reflection question. What is the one thing I need to accomplish today to move my team forward? Is it getting started with what I just covered? What is it? What is that one thing? Don't drift. Decide, align, target, lead. Leadership's about getting stuff done, getting to the finish line. Lead. Again, don't drift. Trust your teammates to do their work. Stay focused. Decide, align, target, lead. To close, 2 research studies. The 2024 Korn Ferry survey found, listen to this, 81% of CEOs said they are willing to do more than required of them, a strong indicator of motivation and effort at the senior level. So 81%, 8 out of 10, said they're willing to do more than required of themselves. Another research said Del found that more than 80% of employees said it was important for senior leaders to behave consistently with organizational purpose, yet only 55% said their senior leaders actually do so. That say and do concept. Are you aligned? What you say and what you do, is it matching? So, of these two research articles I quickly pulled up here with some quantitative data, which one are you right now? And you have to be honest. Are you in the Corn Ferry survey study where they found 81% of CEOs that are willing to do more than required of them? Or the Delati study where more than 80% of employees said it was important for senior leaders to behave consistently with organizational purpose, yet only 55% said their senior leaders actually did so? Where are you at right now? In one of these, in between, you want to be at that higher level, what you say and what you do. So having that why covered, having that alignment covered, and that target focused in on. So the $1,000,000 question is, where do you go from here? That is up to you. I gave you 3 strategies today. 3 strategies. Where do you go from here? Where do you go from here? 2 words. Just start. Just start. Take my advice and just start. Tweak it to how you want to use it, refine it. Remember, make it fit you and your organization. So where do you want to go from here? Just start and fit it in the way, or refine it the way you need to be an effective leader. What questions do you have? I didn't see any comments throughout this. I went through this like light speed because I wanted to keep this to 30 minutes. I'm at 28 minutes, and that was intentional. I wanted to be concise and get to the point and give you 3 things. Hopefully you grab one of them. That's the goal. Just start. And the goal is to insert it into your daily leadership practices, making you a better leader. Remember, leadership is not a destination. It's evolving, constantly evolving. Oops. Let's go back. And then lastly, thank you so much for your time. I am Dr. Anthony Perkins. I do a lot of consulting now that I'm retired. Organizational training, inspirational speaking, leadership development. I love working with leaders, companies, teammates, and really getting them back up to par, getting them re-energized. My website is perkup-you.com. It's spelled perkup-you.com. It tells a lot about me and my services, and you can contact me through there. There's a QR code you can scan and goes right to my website. My email is Dr. Perkins, DrPerkins at perkup-you.com. So you can reach out to me, ask me questions. I'm available to partner with you to get you some help, get you up to par. I just love doing this leadership thing because I get out there, I meet a lot of people, and I help a lot of people, and that's part of my why. Thank you so much for your time, everyone. God bless you. Keep pushing, and remember, leadership is about the entire team. Go out there and make it happen, captains. Talk to you soon.